I'm Heather.
Welcome to Small Town Big Thoughts. Welcome back, guys. We are in the thick of spring. It doesn't feel like it today, but
it's in the thick of it. It's in the thick of it. That's the first thing that popped in my head when you said that.
But we are all working on our gardens.
Yes.
So we just wanted to talk to you guys about different kinds of gardens and what we're doing this season.
I'm excited. I have seed buying fever, so
yes. Which you already have a ton of. What are they? Onions, garlic, chives?
Garlic. I can't remember like what. I almost said strain, but whatever type it is, can't remember. I do know it's not elephant, though. I know that much. And then yes, I have onions. Well, they're onion scraps. But I read that like the first year it's good for like green onion and they need to go to seed, and then second year it's supposed to like do better.
Okay.
So I have those going.
You like cut up an onion to do them?
Yeah, I had let one like grow all that crazy shit out, and then I read that you're supposed to like each like little tube. I don't know what I'm talking about. Each little tube, you like slice it down like with a piece of the root on it, and then bury it like that.
Oh, so, okay. Look at you.
Yeah, so I try and do a lot of scraps. So I do Google it often, but I tried romaine lettuce and it worked for a little bit, but I did it when it like rained a lot, so I think it just like got too soggy for the lettuce.
Oh, yeah.
But yep, that's what's going out there. I have a fall crop of garlic, and then I planted some end of February, early March for like fall harvest. So I'll have a spring or summer harvest and then a fall harvest.
Heck yeah, so onions for days.
Yes, onions and garlic, which I'm fine with because I like if a recipe calls for like 2 cloves of garlic, I put like 2 heads of garlic, so I'm here for it.
We all love garlic.
Challenge accepted.
Vampires around here.
Not at all. Not at all. We went to go eat at this like it's in Sand Springs, and I can't remember what it's called. It sounds like a cheer. It's like Booyah, I think is what it was called. And it's a sushi and hibachi buffet. And but it's so weird. It's not like your normal buffet, like the sushi part was, and the salad part, and then like build your own bowl to have them cook it was. But like to order like sesame chicken or fried rice, like you had to push a button, and then the waitress came to you, took your order, but they didn't give you full size though. They gave you like individual portions. That way if you wanted to like taste multiple things, you're not like full with this like huge portion.
Right.
And so that was cool. I liked it, and it was delicious too.
We might have to go there.
Yes, it was so good. And I so we went on a Friday. I couldn't eat meat because of Lent, bless. And I did noodles with like a bunch of vegetables, and you had to put your sauce in a little bowl, and they had like hibachi sauce, General Tso's, like all of them. Your brother was like, "Oh my god," because I like put 2 heaping spoonfuls of garlic. And he's like, "Oh my god, that's too much." And I'm like, "I don't think this is gonna be enough for me." It was just right, actually, but it was so good. It's so good. I'm a garlic girl.
I've been wanting sushi so bad.
The one we get is deep fried, and it's like tuna, jalapeno, cream cheese, and mozzarella cheese. And it's a deep fried roll at Sushi One. It's really good. It's called Deadhead Roll.
We might have to like all go.
Yeah, there's this place in Tulsa that I like to go to. They have this thing called a sushi burrito.
Oh, I've seen those.
And I like to get the one that's like rolled in hot Cheetos.
Mm.
Oh, it's so good. And they have the best ramen.
I actually just
You have to try it. It is really good.
They look delicious. I just sent your brother this thing. There's a new restaurant in Oklahoma City that opened up, and it's a fusion of Mexican and sushi. And I need to go. Like, I need to go.
Where's it at?
Oklahoma City somewhere.
Oh,
We should plan a trip.
As I say, if y'all want to do sushi one, let's plan it for this Good Friday because I can't eat meat either. It's my last day of not eating meat.
I was gonna say which.
Oh, you could do an avocado roll.
Ooh,
It's like avocado and cucumber.
my favorite is it's crab, avocado, cucumber, and salmon. And I always have no. They normally don't have it on the menu. I can't remember where I first had it, but it was so good, and it's my favorite thing. So I always have them make it for me because they always have something like that with the crab and the avocado. And so I'm always like, can you just add salmon to this? Or they'll have it with salmon and not the crab, and I'm like, can you add crab?
Yeah. No, like I said, imitation crab, it like on the package at the store, it literally says made with rib meat. So I'm pretty sure you're fine to eat a Cali roll.
Because I've been craving it. Actually, I really think it's just the salmon that I want. Just because I've been watching, just because I've been watching Below Deck, and I'm like, oh, it looks so good.
Yes.
I found this recipe for salmon patties the other day.
Really?
They looked really good.
I was gonna say in May, whenever we do Allison's baby shower, we're already gonna be in Prague. So if you guys want to come down, we'll meet you in the city. We can all go.
Go try it out.
Yeah.
It looks so they had the burrito and then they had a couple different things too though that like there was like a taco sushi fusion and yeah, there was just I'll send the video to you guys. It just
Heck yeah.
it looks so good.
So,
I know we just ate but I'm hungry again.
like, man, I'm kind of hungry. So have you started your garden?
Yes, we just got our potatoes planted in our buckets. Actually, we have like these felt buckets, and we did like maybe
Is that what you were talking about earlier?
yeah, we did maybe like a little bit of soil, and then we put our potatoes in and just lightly covered them with more soil, and then when they start to grow leaves, we'll cover those and try to get the plant to grow bigger.
Like a kebab.
Yeah, I think it's called like a mounding thing.
Yeah.
So we're going to be doing that, and the felt buckets have like flaps that shut with Velcro. You just pull them open, pull the potatoes out that way.
Oh, heck yeah. How does the dirt not fall?
I mean, some of it will, but
because I had one, but then the wind blew it away in a storm, so I lost it. But I would do it over like a shower curtain or like a tarp or something, and then that way I can just like pick it back up and put it there.
Yeah. Okay.
And we also have some onions coming in too. We planted some last year. We thought they all died, but we had maybe 6 or 7 pop up this year. So
I watered your tomato plants this morning. When are you gonna put those in the ground?
we're trying to get more soil in the raised beds because we're gonna put them in the stepped one on the top of it, and all our soil that we had in it has washed down and compacted, so that whole top section is like empty.
Yes.
So we got to get more soil in that, and we've just been slowly going and making trips because we can only fit so much in my car.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's so true.
I went yesterday to pick up. I went to Lowe's. I did a pickup order because the cow manure weighs 40 freaking pounds. So I was like, I'll just do a pickup order and then they'll throw it in my car. It's fine.
How are you gonna unload it?
I just threw it out. I just dragged it out and let it fall.
Oh.
And I moved my car a little bit forward, and then I dragged it another way out.
Oh my god.
And the guy, whenever he was loading it in the car, he was like, "This is a nice car to be throwing shit in."
Literally. Literally.
And I was like, "You're not the one that said drive 20 minutes home."
Oh god, the smell. The mushroom didn't smell as bad as the cow manure, so I was thankful for that.
Why didn't you just go get poop from your neighbor's yard?
See, I was going to, but then I thought he might call the police if I was just walking around with a shovel and a bucket.
Ask him. Just go knock on his door. Hey, I got a pooper. I got a scooper.
That's all walking around for green onions because there's like we were walking and I was seeing them and we went walking again and I brought a shovel and I was just like I can't believe I'm walking around broad daylight with a shovel going into people's yards and digging up their wild onions, but I did, so no regrets.
You had so many.
There's no regrets at all. Yes.
I was like, I looked at or whenever I came in, I don't know why I was here, but I came in and I was like, where did Reba get all those onions?
All around here. It's crazy because in our yard we have one true wild onion plant and there's this other plant that it has little bulbs. Actually, the one you pulled up that one day, but it's not true wild onions.
They look very similar.
Yes, it's very similar though. And I was Googling it and I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember if it's called like Star of Bethlehem or something like that. But those are the ones you're not like supposed to like eat, which our yard is freaking full of them. And but yeah, so I literally was just like, Justin, look. And then I was like digging up really quick and grabbing them and then like walking away and shaking dirt off. So
That's freaking awesome.
no regrets.
It's a field out behind Indian Camp School. A shit ton of wild onions grow there.
Oh yeah, whenever we would have
You better go get some.
what was it? PE. Whenever we'd have PE outside, we would pretend that we were doing whatever we were supposed to do. We would just pick the onions. My question is, how do they did they seed or like how do they spread?
I have no clue.
They should go to seed, like the stems, like if you let them go long enough, they'll grow like flowers and then they'll die and then those flowers will spread the seeds.
Is that how it works?
That's usually how most plants work.
I mean, I took science class, but I didn't know onions grew flowers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because like those, I'll let
So
those
does
go to
lettuce.
seed this year.
We let our lettuce go to seed last year and
Cilantro when it goes to seed is coriander.
Yeah, I learned that.
So
it turns like really hard and it's hard to get out.
Stupid bitter too. Yeah. So is my lemon balm. I had to like hack away the little first bit of topsoil to pull out the dead ends. So yeah.
I did save all of my seeds, my cilantro seeds. So
there you
proud of that. And watched a YouTube video and it was so hard. I was like, goodness gracious.
You have to like hack the shit out of them. I hear Moroccan.
The only thing I have left to do is till up or like spread this last bit of manure and then till everything up and then put my little arch in the middle. But last year driving fence posts was really difficult, so I'm just not looking forward to that.
Oh gosh, don't you do that alone.
We got our little fence up. Hopefully keep Keita from burying her bones in the garden. But
yesterday she dug one out of my garden and I was just like, when the fuck did you do that? Like, I've already tilled this up. Like, I was so confused. But, I mean, I don't know if it was old or if, well, I don't know. I was just like, where did you get that?
Yes.
I'm hoping my flowers grow soon. I bought like 4 or 5 packets of wildflower seeds and I bought a raised bed and I just sprinkled them all over the top of it and mix it around with my hands.
Chaos gardening.
Yes. And I even threw some lavender in there. So like maybe I'll get some lavender growing.
That'd be cool.
I'm excited.
My lavender that I grew a couple years ago, it smelled so good. So freaking good.
I haven't tried lavender. I need to do it. I don't know why I haven't. Now I'm gonna have to find some seeds or something.
Oh yeah.
I think we found ours at the Dollar Tree.
Oh hell yeah.
I have a just like a mason jar full of seeds at my house because it started off with just like pepper seeds. I was doing bell peppers or I was cutting up bell peppers, so I just put all the bell peppers in there. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'll just like leave those in there and then I'll take them out to the to the garage and add them to my other piles. And then I forgot about them. And then I did a lemon, and then I was like, oh, and I let the seeds dry out. And then I was like, well, I don't have any right now. I'll just add them to the peppers. And then I did something else. Oh, I did a tomato. And then I was like, I saved the seeds. And then I was like, just add to this collection. And then so now I just have a little mason jar of all kinds of random seeds just gonna go out there.
You have like a salsa jar almost.
See what grows.
That's so cool though. I like chaos gardening. I don't know why I haven't tried more of it though. So I should give it a go.
Yeah, we're attempting to grow cucumbers this year, and I'm gonna make Heather teach me how to pickle.
Yes, yes.
I'm so excited. I think we should definitely do the farmer's market. I think that would be so fun.
Let's pray we all have bountiful crops.
Dude, I'm so amazed at the size of the veggies I got out of our garden last year. Like, Chad's got a tomato like that big.
That's amazing though.
That the one that I'm most excited to grow is
That's what I was just gonna ask you guys. What are you most excited to grow?
sunflower, like the giant sunflowers and the ones that have the seeds. I didn't know that not all sunflowers are the same. So I have like 3 different kinds. None of them are the kinds that make sunflower seeds. So I still have to find those, which I think they're called like something like gigantic something. So if you guys find any, keep your eye out for me.
On it. I have some, but it's like orange yellow ones. I can't remember what they're called though, but I was like, oh, these are pretty. Do it for the bees.
Yeah.
So what are you excited to grow? Do you have like
potatoes?
Potatoes.
Potatoes.
But purple ones. Are you
Yes.
growing only purple potatoes?
Well, we're growing a few russets, but it's mostly purple potatoes. They were my favorite thing that came out of the garden last year, and I'm probably going to continue growing them until further notice.
They have more flavor, right? I know for a fact they have more nutrients, but
Yeah, they have more flavor. Just the texture is so much better. They're like, even fully cooked, they never get mushy. They stay firm, but they're also like soft. And like when I put them in the slow cooker with my roast, they stayed firm, while the other ones just like if you pick them up with your hands, they would just mush.
yeah.
So they're just the best potatoes, in my opinion.
When I was learning about the blue zones in the place in Italy, the island off of Italy, that's what they eat, or like that's like the main staple in their diet. And I was like,
Nice.
where do you find purple potatoes? And then literally that year you were like, I'm growing purple potatoes. And I was like, what the fuck? It was so weird. I was like, where do you even find those? I've never seen those.
They have like a 3-pound bag at Tractor Supply that they sell.
Of potatoes or
The purple potatoes, yeah, the seeded potatoes.
yeah.
If you want to
Alright.
pick them up.
Go check it out.
But that's what we did. We went. Somebody had mentioned that they were selling potato seeds, and I was like, I'm gonna go check that out. And so we got there, and they happen to have a big 3-pound bag of them. So we got that, and I was like, 3 pounds should be enough. That should give us plenty of potatoes.
Oh, heck yeah.
3 pounds of potatoes. That's gonna turn into like 40 pounds of potatoes. That's a lot.
I'm gonna be sharing.
Good.
She's like, you better.
We're growing them in like instead of like the felt pots that they're like this tall.
Like the 5-gallon ones.
So we may not get like a shit ton, but we'll get enough to keep us happy.
Yeah. What's your thing that you're most excited to grow?
My loofahs.
Yes.
I've been waiting all year since the farmer's market last year. So, and I have 2 beautiful plants, knock on wood, that they continue to like stay beautiful. So I'm excited. Which I know you can eat a loofah plant in like the early stages, but I don't think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna let it go to seed and then use it to
I feel like that'd be like eating a sponge.
see, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know, in my mind the texture is probably weird and I'm out. Like, I know I shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but I'm judging, so
I saw a thing the other day and it said that there's like 50,000 varieties of food in the world and we only eat 100. And I was like,
oh my gosh.
that's so crazy. But then also watching Below Deck, like they eat all kinds of crazy shit. And I'm
Mhm.
like, where do you even find that? It was like the craziest thing was like sea cucumber
Mhm.
ovaries.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. And I was like, what?
They were probably in the Mediterranean.
Yeah. And what was the other thing that I thought was weird? Sea urchin. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I'm out.
I also didn't know that the little conch shells. I didn't know that there was something in there that you could eat. So
Yeah, I think I'm out on that.
yeah, which I was just like, I don't know if I could eat any of that. It kind of just sounds yucky in my mouth.
I know. We always talk about Below Deck and like what we would have them make, and we're always like, we would be the easiest guests that they would have because we'd just be like, can we have ribeye and like potatoes every night, and we're
Right.
like happy. And then breakfast they'll have like all the fanciest like lobster eggs. Sorry. Ice cream truck. Should we take her really quick? Has she done an ice cream truck?
No, she hasn't.
We got it. And we are back.
Sorry.
From our ice cream break. We're the ice cream man, and we had to go.
For Ellie's sake.
Yeah,
She's never seen an ice cream man before.
it's purely non-selfish.
Oh my gosh. I don't think I've ever ran so fast in my life.
I jumped over everything.
You did. You straight up, you sang both that. Like it was so fast.
And then I
Think you
whistled.
should try.
I whistled at the ice cream man. I was like, get over here.
Yes. Literally though.
What are you supposed to do? It's like run down the street?
I feel like we did everything right. Whistle, like wave them over, all the things. So
Which I was like, there's a 2-year-old coming. And I didn't have any
I don't know what I'm doing. I was like, Ellie, where's Emily? And he's like, she's right here. And I like sweep her up and she like starts laughing and I'm like, and then I was like, money! We need money! And he's like, there's cash on the table. And then you're like, it's money. So it was very chaotic, but like good chaotic.
By the way, you can get 4 ice creams for less than $20. So
Ellie got Sonic and he had bubblegum eyes. It was pretty awesome.
and she painted the floor with it.
And her face.
Oh, yeah. Her whole face is blue. I hope that comes off during bath time. I got a bomb pop.
I forgot what Looney Tunes, which was really good. Actually, it tastes like cotton candy.
I didn't have any. It's lit, and I gave up added sugar. So, but Justin got an ice cream sandwich. So, holla!
I remember that used to be his favorite when we were growing up.
He'll still buy a box now and then and smash them. So, usually I can like partake too. It's either that ice
don't
cream
blame him.
cones
They're pretty
or the frozen Snickers bars. They're really good ones too. So. See, I'm more of a drumstick kind of girl. I
Yeah, me
like
too.
that's like the ones with like the caramel or chocolate in the middle too.
Yes.
We're harmonizing over here.
So what are you guys looking forward to all summer? I'm ready for that ice cream man to come back.
For real. Can you come back?
What were we talking about?
Gardening. Wait, was it gardening?
I think so.
I was telling a story, but I don't remember what.
Oh, we were talking about below deck. You guys said that you would be really.
Oh yeah, we'd be the easiest ones there. Like,
I was thinking, so like on this last season that I watched, he was like, he said he's a meat and potatoes kind of chef, but then the other chef is like, what's it called? Like micro
Michelin?
greens? No, like micro, like micro food,
where it's like the one serving, like
digest, something. I don't know, like where you just macro. I don't know, something that's like really in depth about food. He's like a Michelin star chef, and so I was like, I'm pretty sure if we were his charter guests, he would be like, they want me to cook them a fucking quesadilla? Are you serious?
literally, like,
Oh, that bucket's a cheeseburger.
Some chicken nuggets back there. Literally, like,
I was like, man, I just want some ramen.
Like honestly, I think they would be like, why do these people even
I'm saying, I feel like they'd be like, sorry, you have to leave. Like,
Yeah.
like just no. Or like, you got a barbecue on this thing? Like,
Right.
let's smoke some meat. So
there was like one it was the lady who they had based the film around
Blindside.
yes. And they were on there
cheese.
and they did like all like southern food because they're from Texas, right?
I think Alabama or Mississippi.
Yeah, they're from the South. So they did like fried chicken and like chicken and waffles and stuff like that. And it was so funny. The chef was so mad.
I'll never forget. It was an earlier season, but this guy had planned out like this 3-course dinner. And I can't remember if it was their anniversary or he was going to propose or something. And like they had a separate dinner away from the group. Like he like went all out. There was rose petals. Like he really planned it.
Oh.
And then they served the food, and she's like, "Can I get a chicken quesadilla?" And like the chef, so mad. You've seen? Yes. She was so mad. They're like. The chef was like, I just cooked a 5-course or 5-star meal and she wants a quesadilla. Like, he was like so salty, and I'll never forget that.
Honestly, same though, because there's how much effort into making a meal, and somebody's like, I'd rather have a quesadilla, I'd probably rip their head off too.
If I remember correctly, I don't think it was like a weird meal. Like, I want to say it was like fancy chicken with vegetables or like something that like would be normal to eat.
Yeah, but it wasn't like scalloped and sea urchin and stuff like that. It was like it was like noodles with something else.
I would try it. See, I like scallops.
Really? I don't think I've ever had or tried them.
I always get them when we're at Olive Garden. I'll get the seafood Alfredo. It has like scallops and shrimp and something else in it.
Oh, see, I don't like shrimp.
I don't like any seafood.
I love it.
The most I'll do is sushi, but even then it's not like the raw stuff. So
yeah,
I don't know. I can't do it. I can't do like catfish and things like that. Salmon, like it grosses me out, and just all of it. I'm that weird one, or the minority. I don't know. Whatever, majority of my
See, but like they're in the episode or the season that I'm watching right now is in the Caribbean.
Mm-hmm.
They don't really do Mexican food or like Caribbean food. I don't know what like
jerk and like chicken and
yeah. So I'm like, I mean, which I understand that they're like on a boat in the middle of the ocean, but so I understand doing like lobster and stuff like that. But like, you would think that they would have like some Jamaican food, or
I remember one episode they really did tacos, and like I don't even think it was like authentic street tacos. I think it was like white people taco night. So like I don't remember it being like grand or anything like that. Sorry.
The closest that I've seen to Mexican food, they did lobster tacos, and I was like,
that sounds
is
really
that
good.
really? I mean, yeah.
Well, and I tell Justin, I'm like, I'd be in there like, can I help clean up? Or like, can I help cook? Or I'd be that guest that's like, don't wait on me. I can pour my own water.
Right?
I'll never forget. We went to this really fancy Brazilian steakhouse in San Antonio, and like I would take a sip of water, and these lovely waiters would like come refill our drink, and then they left the bottle on the table, and I was like, oh, thank God, like this makes me feel like really better. And like again, like I'd go to like pick it up to like refill it, and then like he'd come and do it, and I'm like, I could never be served on. Like I truly don't think I can. Like I loved it. It was an awesome experience. Bottled water is freaking delicious, but I was just like, I feel terrible. Like, can I serve my own water?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I just struggle with those types of things.
I think like watching it. Have you ever seen Below Deck?
Nope.
You should give it a go.
Oh my goodness! I
Never
just like
heard of it
watching
before today.
We have watched all the seasons.
Do
Like,
you have Peacock?
yes.
Okay.
Like, and that's what we're watching the new season on. But no, sometimes your brother will start from season 1, and we like have to watch all of them. So
Yeah, I'm on
like
season
Chef
6
Ben
right now.
and Chef Rachel and all of them. So, and like I said, sometimes when we just like talk about like who our dream like deck crew would be, and captains and all that. So yeah, you should give it a go. It's pretty interesting, and the drama's spicy.
Which I did the math. It would only cost double what it would cost to go on a cruise for us to charter one of these boats. So, I mean,
10-year plan,
right?
if we're still here in 10 years.
Yeah, we might be in the med by then. So,
Hopefully just up there with Jesus. But no, I was gonna say you should watch it. I think we should dream one day to do it. It would be so cool.
Win the lottery, and I'm in. Like, yes, we're buying a boat. We go live on the ocean.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think that every time that I watch it, I'm just like, if this were like Diego and I would be like, okay, like I'll try your microgreens and stuff, but like he only wants a grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I'm down to try anything once.
What's like the craziest thing you think you would try? Can you think of
would try or have tried?
I would say the craziest thing I have tried. I can't remember what it was called, but it was like I was pregnant with Ellie. It's like these noodles from like this Mexican restaurant. I was eating them; they were really good. I was really digging it. I got to the end of it, and I pulled this thing out, and I started looking at it. And I was like, "Is that what I think it is?" Chance looks up and goes, "Yep, that's cow stomach or goat stomach, whatever kind of animal stomach that they use to cook with the broth and the noodles and stuff." And I was like, well, I just lost my appetite. It was really good, but I'm good.
Yeah. What's the craziest thing you've tried?
Flounder. And again, I don't like seafood and the texture. I love like olives, but the texture was worse than olives, and so I couldn't do it. And it was very chewy. Like I felt like it was just like gum. But yeah, flounder is my answer though.
I feel like I just don't try crazy things. I want to say that like.
See, I'm in the category of I'll try anything once as long as it's not seafood though. But I did try that. But I think it was like, hey, I'll give you $10 to try this, and I was like, okay. I didn't like it. I knew I wasn't gonna like it though. So when we were in Mexico, we had at a sushi place fried tapioca, and it tasted like cardboard, but and also like air. But it was really interesting, and I dipped it in this chili sauce, and it was delicious. So
I don't think that I've tried anything just like crazy. I mean, unless crab is crazy, but
I mean, I feel like it's a valid answer. If you're crazy, it's
yeah, I feel like that's the craziest thing. I don't know. I feel like I'll put. It sounds weird, but I'll put anything in my mouth and try it out.
The millennial urge should not say. That's what she said.
like the plants in my garden, or like
yeah,
not plants in my garden, just like berries growing on a tree. I'm like, is that edible? And I'll try it. And then I learned last year that only one of the trees in my
Maybe
yard.
just Google it, because like I feel like that's a hardcore like try it, not try it.
Right. It's like going through a mushroom field.
Picking and choosing. Maybe just Google it, because like don't.
There was something that I cut down in my garden or my yard that I ran over with the lawnmower, and I was like, that smells like carrots. So I hopped off the lawnmower and I like dug up the root, and I was like, looks like a carrot, but white. I don't know. You can probably eat this. And I started like eating the leaves, and I was like, tastes like a carrot. And then I googled it, and it's some kind of carrot cousin, and it is edible. So I was like, well, okay.
Thank God. I'm gonna ask you nicely. Google first, then eat it.
Right?
Especially
Like,
with life.
They have that Google Lens finder. You take a picture of it, and it tells you what the fuck it is. It gives you options to go through and confirm, make sure.
It looks edible. I'm like, we'll try. One of the berries though were like a nut. I guess it tasted like or it was hard like a nut. It looked like a berry, but it was hard like a nut. So
That's
it
interesting.
tasted like a leaf.
Huh.
You know what a leaf tastes like?
I used to want to eat tree stars when I was growing up because Littlefoot made them look fire. I'm just saying. I don't know if anyone else out there. Wait, y'all know Land Before Time, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking. I'm like, wait.
I was trying to show the Disney movie Dinosaur to Ellie last night. It played like the first 2 minutes, and then it would not load.
No.
It would not play. And she was sitting in bed with her little stuffed dinosaur going, dinosaurs, dinosaurs. It's like, I know you want to watch them, but it's not working. Sorry.
Aw. Can you watch Land Before Time? Like, is that on streaming?
I don't know if I want to, because ever since I heard that little girl that voiced one of the characters was murdered by her father.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was like the youngest one
Like
on the
Sarah
show. I think the character's name was like
or Petrie.
Ducky or
Oh, Ducky. Yeah.
yeah. She was murdered by her father. I think it was her father. I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've seen the story. I don't know. Probably her family, but she was murdered and she was still a little girl. It's very sad.
That is sad. Have you seen
I can't watch that show without thinking about that.
did you see the? Oh,
Because you can buy it, but not stream it for free.
dang it! The girl who left her baby in a pack and play for 10 days.
Yeah.
I heard about that. To go on vacation.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah.
How's
I feel like I've seen a lot of articles and stories about parents and neglect lately, and
it makes me sad.
Yeah, like it's really fucking depressing.
Yeah, like
if you don't want to be a parent that bad, then just there's ways out there. There's people out there.
There is somebody who will take that baby.
Yes. So yeah, it's really sad because I heard about that one, and then I feel like I saw another one about like a daycare worker being charged because they had like caught I don't think she murdered the kid, but like abuse was like caught, and like she went to jail, and then I read this was a few years back, but I just read the article. But there was these parents that had a special needs like daughter, and they kept like wouldn't take her to the doctor, but they'd go to the doctor for medical advice, and they kept saying like she was just like losing it, not wanting to leave the house or the couch. Well, like they called and said she had passed when the medical coroner arrived. He said the smell was unbelievable, and she had already been past like 2 or 3 days. And not only that, like there were serious signs of abuse because it looked like she was maybe like immobile or something and hadn't been moved from the couch. That
she was melted into the couch.
Yes, like there's like bones sticking out. She like the couch was like gross and moldy and like in her like body. So they both went to jail, thank God.
People should be murdered for that stuff.
I saw a TikTok the other day where this lady was suing a daycare center because she had went to pick up her, I think it was a 1-year-old kid, and when she got there, all the doors were locked. She couldn't get in. There was nobody there. She was pounding on the door, and there's like the entry doorway that's to the outside. There's a little hallway you go down, and there's like a window where you talk to whoever, and then there's another door that they would buzz you through. So there's like 2 sets of doors you have to get through. And she could see through the window, and she could see her kid on the other side of that second door, standing at the door, just crying and bawling. The employees had left that kid there by themselves for God knows how long, and she had to have the police come out and break into the building to get her child.
Oh my God. See, when I worked at a daycare, like there's just of course personal morals to uphold, but even like work ethic, and obviously like when kids are factored into that, it's like 10 times more serious. Like there was never not a person in the same room with them. Like my boss would be cooking and I'd be out there with the kids, or like vice versa. I'd be cleaning food, she'd be out there. Like it was never like where kids were alone. And even like because her living room was like the main area, and then there was a room like that had toys and beds and all that in it. And even when the kids would go in there, like you'd almost be like standing to where you could see both angles, or like have one in there and one in there. But no, you just like even going to the bathroom, like you like make sure everything's good, go run and go as fast as you can and come back, like wash your hands and come back out. Like, no, what are people thinking? Like, if you don't like your job that bad, go somewhere else.
Right.
Don't be in the kid field.
I feel like people just feel, I don't know if they feel like stuck, they're like, this is my job and I have to suck it up, or like, but
like these are kids.
If you're miserable, do not take it out on a child. Like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I saw another video where these 2 parents were passed out on the beach.
I just saw that.
Really?
Oh my God.
And then the guy, whenever he woke up, the police officer was like, "How old are your kids?" And he was like
3 police officers surrounding them. They're like passed out face down on the beach, both of them.
Yeah. And then the guy's like 7 and 8, and then he lied, or he didn't know. I don't know. He was so drunk he didn't know who these kids were. The kids were actually 7 and 5. There was a little boy and a little girl, and they could have been drowning in the ocean, and nobody knew because they're literally feet away from the ocean. But they were at the resort in the pool, and they had no idea. Yeah,
the cops like woke them up and was like, ID. And then one was like, "Where are your kids?" And they're like, "Over there." And they're looking for the IDs. And then they kind of start fighting. They're like, she's like, "Go get the kids." And so the cop's like, "Where are your kids?" And so he walks out there and he's like looking, and then he's looking,
and he's like yelling their names.
Yeah, and then he's like, then like finally he's like, "Oh no." And so like then I didn't see what happened after that, but I did see in the caption it said they were at the hotel pool.
Yeah.
But the next video I saw they were arrested by the vehicle, and she's like, "I don't want to leave my kids with you. My grandpa's driving 9 hours to come get them.
Yeah.
I don't want to leave my kids. Can we please not leave till I know my kids are safe?" As if she wasn't like not aware earlier. And then the dumbass husband takes off with the handcuffs on.
If I was one of those police officers, I would have just punched him in the face the moment he's like, "I don't know where my kids are."
Or then in his mugshot, he had a black eye, so I don't know. Somebody punched him. But he did try to run.
Yeah, he tried to run away. And then never saw if like the kids were safely picked up, which I assume they were.
Right.
But like I never saw the ending. But the whole time she was like, "Oh, my kids," and it's just like you were even worried. Like you didn't know they existed like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
So like
People like that are the scum of the earth.
yes.
And then she was like, "Who's gonna bail us out?" And he was like, "I don't know. We're both going to jail." And I was like, "You should have thought about that before you started drinking."
Yes. Yes.
Like, I mean, and then the video that I watched showed like she had posted multiple TikToks that day of her drinking on the beach with no sign of her kids.
Oh.
And she had posted multiple TikToks like prior where she was drinking. And so, like, maybe had a problem. And then like on some of her videos she had like she was drinking while watching her kids and drinking and throwing balls at her kids, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like somebody needs to like I mean you can have a beer or so, but like if you're always getting intoxicated around your kids, that's wild to me.
Please seek help if you feel like you have alcohol abuse problems.
Yes.
Addiction is real. I
Yes.
have it in my family, so
do we. And we definitely recommend getting help. Go to a therapist, call your
if
friends.
not for you, for your kids, please, and your cousin, please.
That's why I don't trust people when it comes to Ellie.
I don't blame you. I mean, you always have to be cautious of like who you're with. So that's why that like that statistic that's like the one that like can harm you is usually the one closest like to you or in your circle.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I believe that.
I saw this one TikTok where there was like I guess it was supposed to be like a skit kind of thing. But like this grandma and this mom were going to pick up the mom's kid from like their cousin's house or something. And when they pulled up, the kid like climbed in the car. The grandma got out and like lifted up the kid's shirt and like their shorts and like checked all over their body for any marks or anything. And the mom was like, "No, don't do that. You don't want to offend them." And the grandma was like, "No, you always check. It doesn't matter who they're with, what they were doing. You always check their body. Because you cannot trust a single goddamn soul. And you do it right in front of them so they know that you're looking.
Yeah.
And that you're making sure that nothing's going to happen to this baby."
Amen.
That's so wise, though.
Amen.
And like, as family, like, you shouldn't get offended. If anything, I feel like if you care about them and the kid, like, here, let me help you.
Yeah, you should. I mean, you should
like,
recommend it. But what is the one am I thinking of? You should be understanding.
Yeah.
You should want them to do that.
Yeah.
Whatever that means. I'm trying to think if there's a word that I'm trying to grab a hold in my head, but
I feel like it makes sense to me.
yeah, you should you should expect them to do that. That's what you should expect that.
Oh yeah. I feel like you can just never be too cautious. So, because people are freaks. I was gonna say, so I've never really talked about this outside of like the few people that know, but so I have had someone in close proximity to me, not like physically I don't know, not like physically touched or anything like that, but I guess you'd say cyber harassed. So when 2011, I was working at the chamber, and like my friends, especially guy friends and all that, they're known for being pranksters. And I mean, it's not like we haven't like like prank called someone and pretend to be someone, or like dumb shit like that. Or like one time we were mad at someone and we like put their number on Craigslist, and the Justin Bieber concert was coming, so we had like floor seat tickets for $50. Call this number. And so like pranks like that. Although that's kind of mean now that I say it out loud. But so I got this message one time, and it was from like this like random number email, and it basically was like, your ass is like hot. And I don't think I wrote back at first, and then like it kept happening, and I was just like, okay, thanks, like gross, but who is this? And they gave me like this fake name, And so for the longest time, like Crystal and all of us thought it was like Justin or Matthew fucking with me. And so this went on probably, I would say, accusing them probably like a year. And it progressively got worse and more derogatory. And at one point, it even was like they emailed my work email and was like, if you don't send a picture of you, I am going to write one of your businesses downtown and tell them you did this. And then one time they photoshopped my face onto a very provocative picture of a nun from a site. And then they also listed my email and phone number on sex sites. And I
my goodness.
yeah, I started getting a lot of random emails from people, and some of them were absolutely fucking disgusting, and it was degrading. And some of them, after corresponding, like they would like help me, and they'd say like, "I'm so sorry, like." I was on this site. I found this information. This is the username that was posted. And it all came back to this one name that I was given. It was so frequent, I was starting to get paranoid. So the straw that broke the camel's back for me was one time when I was at work, I got a phone call and I answered it. And you could tell it was like an automated voice. Gosh, this is kind of getting deep. So sorry. It was like this like voice, and it ended up saying like, "Hey, I'm watching you, and if you go to like the cops or anyone, if I see you out and about, I'm gonna stab you with an AIDS needle." I called the cops because I'm like, the fuck? And I like called Justin and I want to say at this point though, it had been a few years, not a year, probably like 2 years or so. And at this point, like him and I were kind of like more than friends. And I was just like, is this legit? Like, you guys fucking with me? Because this is do or die at this point. And they're like, he said no, Matthew said no, like, everyone I could think of said no. And so I ended up calling the cops, and Rumsey was the cop that was called out to me. And bless him, though, he did try to help me, but like nothing really came about it. And so finally, I want to say Lavender had like connected me to like someone at the sheriff's office. And at this point, it was still going on pretty bad. Like I was on all kinds of porn sites, and
Oh my goodness.
yeah, like they were harassing me nonstop. And so I went to the sheriff's office, and we ended up doing some things, and we found out who it was. And it was someone in my family doing it to me. And
Oh my God.
what's crazy is I like had changed my number, and this was a person that I had texted my new number to and was like, please don't give this out. I have a stalker. Like it's getting really scary. And that person was there for me. And I found out though it was their cell phone number tied to everything. And so I have not talked to that person today, like till today. It did freak me out at my mom's funeral, though, that they came and they sat in my house on that couch in that living room. That was a really disgusting, degrading part of it for me. But yeah, you can't trust everyone.
Oh my God. And Justin didn't do anything?
So he wanted to, but at that point, I was more just like, my mom died. Like, let's just focus on me and trying to, like, in you, because he was torn up about it too. And so he only came to my house once. And then the funeral was a whole disaster thanks to our former preacher. So there's like so many factors going in that didn't take forefront. It was on my mind that like if anything happened, I'm calling the cops immediately.
Right.
But yeah, and then nothing really came about it with it at the sheriff's office. It was supposed to, but then we had a prominent person in the community who was murdered, and kind of took the back burner.
Yeah.
So, which I mean, I get it because his death was very tragic as well. But, yeah.
Oh,
You
my
can't trust
goodness.
everyone. And this is someone, I mean, I would say I saw a couple of times a year and we'd text often. I'd say we were close cousins. Close. So, oh well. I mean, there's no shame in it. Crystal knew, Justin knew, my core group of friends knew, or knew, whichever. Um, my twin cousins, they were another big part in it. It kind of happened to them, or I can't remember exactly, but I want to say like something had happened that included them, but it never continued on them. And so my brother knows. Um, I did tell my mom, but um, that didn't go the greatest. But you know, she's not here to voice her side, and I'm a big believer in you see live previews and deal with those consequences. And so, I think you know she's handled her part on that, and I know if she were here, she'd probably feel bad and maybe believe me more. But yeah, can't trust everyone.
That
So
is so wild.
yeah.
I cannot believe that happened.
It fucks you up. And then what's crazy though is like that side of the family reunion coming up in July. And yeah, I have a lot to think about. If like I want to go and be around that. And
Right.
yeah, so it's crazy. It's
Nice, I'll say.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and then I think watching that in Nickelodeon MTV thing, it's kind of this past week's been hard for me, and I think a lot of old feelings have.
You're talking about that Quiet on Set?
Yeah,
I was gonna ask you guys if you had seen that. That's crazy.
What is it?
Quiet on Set.
Quiet on Set.
It talks about what happened to the actors and actresses of our childhood
like
TV
Amanda
shows.
Bynes, Drake Bell.
Like Drake and Josh
You
and
should watch it.
Victorious.
I saw a snippet of Drake Bell.
You
Was
should-
that a part of it? Where he said
where
that like
they do interviews and they tell their stories about their experiences with Dan Schneider and Josh
Brian Peck. You should watch it. It's very eye-opening.
it's
very sad.
who's Brian Peck?
He on Nickelodeon for several shows was like was it voice actor, voice vocal something, or
Oh gosh.
Does
he
it
was
have
like,
to do with Josh Peck?
see,
Was that a character?
no, Josh Peck is like Josh on Drake and Josh.
Yeah.
But I don't know if there's a relation.
Yeah, I don't know if
Okay.
there is either.
But yeah, Brian Peck was like a lot of behind the scenes, and then actually he did try to be their dad on Drake and Josh, but at that point Drake was like trying to distance himself from what was going on.
Yeah.
And so he like didn't advocate for him to be the dad, but yeah, he was like one of the.
I haven't watched all of it yet, but I did watch.
Sorry.
No, you're good. I did watch a TikTok where somebody was talking about where Brian would use some kind of anesthesia and drug Drake and would do whatever he wanted with him while he was unconscious.
Oh my
Drake
goodness.
said, think of the worst thing you can think of on like sexual assault, and he's been through it.
Wow.
And then Amanda Bynes I don't know if she was on
she wasn't like on there,
but like there was like people posting screenshots of like her other Twitter account where she posted the truth, but it was under a different name.
Do y'all remember that, or were you too young for that? Because I remember that.
I think I was too young for that because I don't really remember the other account.
Ashley Banks account.
Yeah, she would post on there saying that she was raped and at 13, and then she had to get an abortion at 13.
Well,
yeah, from the producer of the show. There's
one tweet where like she wrote it out and certain letters were capitalized, and if you like highlighted all them and then put them in sequence, it says Dan did it.
Oh,
And
my
people would try to discredit that, but she even I remember she uploaded her driver's license photo to Twitter and was proving it. And then
There was photos on that Twitter account that wasn't to be found anywhere else on social media. They were 100% original photos.
you should watch it. It was
Holy cow.
it was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How do I find it?
It's
HBO now.
Yeah, it's on HBO. I can give you my Amazon Prime information. You can watch it on there because I'm subscribed through HBO through Prime.
Okay.
All right.
I will definitely look into that. That is
I
so.
think it's 4 episodes so far, or 5.
I think it's heavy. You guys seen the P. Diddy lawsuit?
Mm,
Have you seen it?
That's interesting.
Yeah. I
All
think
the people
that
tied to it. It's a big web.
it's so you guys know that astrologically we're in a new age.
Yes.
What is it?
Shoot. It's the end of you're a planet in one conjunction or something like
Yeah,
that. I can't
pretty
think of
much
the name.
we're just in a new.
Pluto just ended, I believe. I think it was Pluto that just ended.
Yeah, so we're pretty much in because Jesus was in the age of Aquarius, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we're in just a different age, and it's pretty much the age of enlightenment, or the age of
New beginnings.
things coming to light or something like that.
Yeah, because a lot of people would reference it to the fall of an empire. This.
Yes.
This was the same things that were happening when the Roman Empire fell, and they were. This is why they're predicting the downfall of America because of the age and the range of date it's on. So.
Yeah, we've been
We've
almost 200 years strong, so
Yeah.
it's about time something happened. And hopefully we're not here when that happens. But I think that it's just crazy that we're in that era, and now all these things come to light with P. Diddy and his sex scheme, and which I didn't know that I can't think of his name, the CIA guy. I can't. Why can't I think of his name? But I didn't know that he was involved, and he was pretty much founded that scheme. It's a recruitment sex scheme where you're hey, you want to join? All you have to do is suck this guy's dick and let us film it, and then you can be a superstar. What? The craziest thing to me is I'm trying to figure out if they did that to Justin Bieber at 13.
Without a doubt, I believe that 1,000%.
Well, I thought whenever I was a kid that it was weird that Usher, almost he was probably 30, almost 40 years old at the time, randomly found this guy from Canada in Atlanta and was hey, you want to record this song? Weird. And but then also I guess in the Disney era, Nickelodeon era, you just send your kid off too.
Mm-hmm.
But he was a child.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, he was a baby, and I think they had found him, if I remember correctly, off YouTube. And then I also remember, actually, I learned this one recently with all this going on, but he not only had Usher after him, but I believe it was also Justin Timberlake who was going to try and recruit him, but Usher and them got to him more. And then, but see, Diddy was Usher's mentor.
Yeah.
So, oh, I without a doubt, just and the things he had gone through later in life, the DUIs, the arrests, all of that, it plays out. I feel it plays out for child stars and performers and all of that.
It's crazy to me. So if you don't know, the CIA guy, he was blackmailed because he was gay. And then he started blackmailing mobsters, but the mobsters were blackmailing him because he was gay, and then so he started blackmailing other people by catching them in gay sex acts and taking pictures and whatever. And then it was the what was it? Like, it was like the communism scare or something. And they were like, well, you don't want the communists to find out that you're gay because then they'll blackmail you and then they'll make you become a communist or something like that. And then it was around that time that like they got caught. And so he went to jail and I think he committed suicide in jail. And, but he was involved with Diddy's mentor. And so then Diddy's mentor started this whole thing in Hollywood, or in I guess Hollywood.
Holly weird.
Yeah, and then Diddy started it, but was it Diddy or Diddy's mentor that was in charge of Tupac and Biggie?
Mm, so
Because it was Diddy's security guard that killed Tupac.
yeah,
right?
so Diddy was more Biggie, and Suge Knight was more Tupac.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's, but I'm sure they were all just weird together.
Yeah.
So, well, and like, I mean, Tupac has a song that talks about like the Illuminati, you want my mind, soul, and body.
Yeah.
And then you got Michael Jackson, who's over here singing like they don't really care about us. And I don't know if you really sat down and listened to them lyrics, but man,
Right.
it's crazy.
I just think that, and then which also in that lawsuit, it talks about how the CIA was involved in NWA,
Mhm.
and they pretty much co-wrote or did write the song "Fuck the Police," and it was pretty much just like. This was during the time of like under tracks, you know, where they would put tracks under it to like subliminally uh, what is it? Like not brainwash, but like subliminally like send subliminal messages.
Yeah.
And I remember being a young age and like learning about subliminal messages and like hearing songs in the supermarket, and I was just like, are they trying to make me buy cereal right now?
It's literally though.
So I just thought it was crazy because I've always like whenever I learned about that, I always was like, that's like the weirdest thing for people to do. But then like learning that the CIA was behind it from the beginning just makes so much sense. Just makes so many things click into place.
I just want to say this took a weird turn.
I hope you guys found this interesting with all of these twists and turns.
Yeah.
So,
We took you for a while.
what are you planting in your garden?
Who are you not trusting these days?
Are you
All
going
of
to
them.
let your kids stay the night at their friend's house?
I read this crazy article again. This girl was having a sleepover, and they were like staying in the basement. And her dad, I guess, was like being a weirdo, and he all made them all smoothies. Well,
I saw that.
he ended up like not poison.
They were like
Drugging them. Yes,
They were like sleeping pills or something.
yeah, he had drugged the smoothies. Well, they all drank it and passed out except one. And
She noticed there was stuff in the smoothie that wasn't usually there, so she only took like maybe one sip and then hid it.
yeah, and then the dad, like they were all passed out and she was pretending to be asleep, and the dad would come down and check them. And the article said at one point he even like put his finger under their nose and was waving his hand in front of their face to make sure they were all passed out. And then when he left again, she texted her mom and was like, "Mom, come get me. Like something's weird. I don't like this." Well, the mom was asleep. This was at like what 2, 3. It was like in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
And so then she texts like someone else that was like another confidant of hers, and was like, "Please, like come get me, please." Like she was begging, and so she came to get them and woke the parents up. So they took the kid to the ER, found out that the kid was drugged, told the other parents, and they all went to the house. And then of course the dad was like, "No, they're sleeping, they're fine." And they all ended up like finding out that the dad was like drugging them. Thankfully, like nothing went further, but
yeah, like
it
nothing
could've.
else happened.
yeah, it could have.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And this
So
was the
teach
first
your
time she
kids.
spent the night at that house.
That's sketchy. So teach your kids what to look for,
Trust your gut.
who to trust. Tell them their no places. Like,
Trust no one. That's a hard
pretty
lesson,
much.
but
Like,
Ellie's gonna think I'm such a mean mom because I'm never gonna let her spend the night with anybody.
you know, I always thought, like, growing up, I was like, I never understood people like that, you know? Now I do. Now I completely understand, like, and I mean, I guess if it's hard for your kid, like, just they'll understand one day, you know, you may be the bad guy right now, but one day they'll be thankful.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like my main sleepovers were like with cousins, but obviously it was like people my mom 100% knew she could like trust. But
Right.
I do remember being told no often. And then I also remember telling her like, I don't want to go, say no. So like that too.
Yeah, true.
Like yeah. It's all about your gut.
Yeah.
That is so scary. So definitely teach your kids what to do, what not to do, what to look for. If their food looks funny, tell them not to eat it.
If it smells funny.
If there's something crushed up in their drink, I mean, the biggest thing that I was ever thankful for was one of my friend's dads taught me, which he knew that we were drinking at a very young age. So, you know, instead of being pissed off, he told us, you know, this is what you need to look for. Never take a drink from anybody you don't know. Never take an open drink.
That's
Never
yeah.
let somebody put their hand on your drink.
Don't sit your drink down if
Yeah.
you do get a new one.
Yeah.
I told Lexi all this as if she's going out drinking.
But
Actually, they make those cool wrists. They're like scrunchies, but they also double as like a cover for when you go out and have a hole for your straw. And
I've
then
seen
there's
stuff like that.
also nail polish out there that you can like paint on and put in your drink, and it'll
Yeah,
change
you can
colors.
stir your drink with your finger and it'll change colors if there's like certain drugs in it.
Or if you're
That's
super
cool.
blunt, you can just buy drug tests or like the test to, you know, just put in your drink if you have.
Yes.
So
Yes. So keep yourself safe, keep your kids safe. Do all the things. I mean, your kid is never too young. Wouldn't you guys say your kid is never too young to teach them about
no,
safety?
especially today's
Yeah.
world.
And never forget that all predators do not look like the bad guy. They look like your neighbor, your friend, your brother, your uncle.
They're
They
people
can
that
look
you
like
trust.
anybody.
Yeah. They're the kind of man that you meet at the supermarket. They're the nice guy that held the door open for you. They're the charming salesman that knocks on your door.
They're at your family reunions.
Yeah. So
So
trust no one. I like not to make anybody paranoid, but trust nobody. Always look over your shoulder. You're the only person that is ever going to be your child's biggest advocate. So make sure that you are advocating for them, no matter if they're 2 years old or if they're 20 years old. Make sure that they know how to stay safe and what to do.
Exactly.
I'm parking it with them out there. I can go right by the door. Well, I guess on that note,
Thanks for coming to our TED Talk.
See you next year. Subscribe, please.
Follow us on TikTok,
YouTube.
Instagram, Facebook.
I promise we'll have some TikTok videos.
Yes.
Email sdbt2024@gmail.com. So please like our YouTube though.
See you next week. Bye.